This clip got over 6 million views on the Terra Mater YouTube channel.
It's really rare footage. There are two ways to kill the prey. One is by grip, and when there's a steep slope or a steep cliff, the eagle tries to bring the prey to the cliff and loosen the grip, and then the chamois falls and bam, bam, and it's dead.
Letting gravity do the work.
Yeah.
Why is it that the eagle can't let go?
It's a talon. It's like a ratchet system. The tendon goes like cluck, 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 cluck.
Well, then I'll do a slate, not a biologist, episode 2.
It was not your frame.
Should I do it in my frame as well?
Yeah. In front of your face.
Okay, take 2. This clip got over 6 million views on the Terra Mater YouTube channel. It's a clip of an eagle hunting, and people couldn't believe what they were seeing was real. I couldn't really understand what was happening either. My name is Alex, and I am not a biologist. But to understand this clip, I wanted to invite someone in who has an expertise in these animals and what's happening in this scene. So please help me welcome Thomas. Thomas, thank you for coming along.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're super welcome. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What did you study and what do you do now?
I studied veterinary medicine here in Vienna, and I'm a vet. I run my own practice here in Vienna since 26, 27 years. From younger age on, I was very interested in natural science, biology, and my best friend Franz Schüttelkopf, who ran the Eagle Arena in Carinthia, Austria, taught me a great deal of biology and falconry and all other related topics in birds of prey. So that sparked my interest. And after my studies, I went to Dubai, to the Dubai Falcon Hospital. Later, I went to Greece, to the Hellenic Wildlife Hospital, where we mainly saw birds and birds of prey.
And so you really kind of developed a specialization for these?
Yes,
yeah.
I think so.
But being a vet now, you don't do so much with the birds of prey actively, or only a little bit?
Not really, because my main business is dogs and cats. But I support falconers in Austria, and I'm also supporting the Eagle Arena in Landskron Castle. So I'm still in the topic, but not as much as I would like. Yeah.
You'd want to be birds all the time?
Yeah, of course.
As I mentioned at the top, I've brought you in to watch a specific clip and explain what's happening here.
So here in the first part, we see a trained eagle. And now there's a cut. And this was really on coincidence. That's a wild eagle, which hunts on a group of chamois. But in the first moment, you see that the eagle wanted to hunt the chamois kid. But then the adult chamois goes in between in the last moment. And so the eagle caught the adult chamois.
Wow.
And now they roll over, and the eagle doesn't loosen its grip.
Yeah.
And maybe for some people it looks gruesome and cruel and brutal, but it's a hunting flight. Depending on the plumage and on the feathers, you can say that this eagle is maybe 3 years old.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a young golden eagle because you see the white feathers in the tail. So maybe it's 3 years old.
It's a really impressive clip.
Yes.
And I like that you mentioned that it starts with the trained eagle for the sequence in the film.
Yeah.
But it was a total coincidence that this wild
the
eagle...
cameraman was there, and it's really rare footage.
Yeah?
Because, of course, chamois, marmots, rabbits are the natural prey for a golden eagle. But it's rare that someone was filming exactly that scene.
It feels like a little bit of cinema magic that the person was there, the conditions were great. I think it makes for quite a dramatic sequence, and you can see why our audience really liked it and shared it a lot. So you mentioned this sort of behavior is a normal hunting flight?
Yes.
So you'd see this sort of behavior, including the rolling down the hill?
Maybe not not this, but the chamois is a normal prey.
Yeah.
Usually they try to catch the kid.
Yeah.
Because your kid at this age, maybe I think it was in autumn when this scene was filmed, and the kid maybe has 10, 15 kilogram
Oh, okay.
of body weight.
Yeah.
And the adult chamois has up to 25 maybe. Anyway, 10 to 15 kilograms the eagle never can take away by flight. So there are two ways to kill the prey. One is by grip, that's instinct, to focus on the highest point of the prey, and that's the head.
Of course.
So one claw or the talons from one leg goes into the neck, and the other one goes onto the head.
Wow.
So, and the claws are 5 centimeters. And when it's possible to break the neck of the prey, or the prey is killed from the talons in the head.
Wow.
So that's one way. The other way, when the prey is too heavy or too huge, the eagle tries to catch it. When there's a steep slope or a steep cliff, the eagle tries to bring the prey to the cliff and loosen the grip, and then the chamois falls and bam, bam, and it's dead. And then the eagle goes down.
Yeah. So in one option, it's like an active killing. The other one is like letting gravity do the work.
Of course.
Yeah. It's a smart way to hunt in the mountains.
Very smart, because eagles only can carry maybe 1/3 of their body weight.
Why is it that the eagle can't let go? Is there something about the way that their talons work that meant that it just refused to let go? Or was it, as you might have said, a conscious thought to not let go?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of 3 or 4 things.
Okay.
Self-confidence. That's maybe the reason why it didn't loosen the grip. When the eagle is very self-confident, we don't know what happened the year before. Maybe this eagle hunted 10 times a chamois and was successful. Yeah. So it's very self-confident. He thinks, why not?
Why not?
I try.
Yeah.
And hoping that maybe there is a
cliff?
Steep cliff or slope. And the third thing maybe is the anatomy. Because to loosen the grip, the bird must do it consciously. Stretch the leg a little bit to open the talons, and then he can open the claws or the talons.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that process has to be actively thought about. And maybe, I don't know, maybe this is me anthropomorphizing, but maybe it's a bit hard to think about that when you're rolling down a hill like this.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So it's a mixture, I think, of 2 or 3 things coming together.
And is it just these eagles, or is it all sorts of birds of prey that have to make that conscious?
All birds of prey.
Okay, interesting.
All birds of prey. You see it also in other birds.
Oh, yeah.
All birds that sleep on trees maybe do have this mechanism in the tendons, this specially mechanism in the talons. Only terrestrial birds or waterfowls, they have another adaptation of the tendons.
Maybe this is a good time for me to try and illustrate this with a graph. You can show me how this works. I'm going to ask producer Christopher to come in here. Hi, Christopher. All right. We've got some graphs here.
When you see a bird standing, you only see the part lower than the knees.
So this part?
Yeah, this part. And tendon, you need a flexor tendon, which flex the talons. This tendon has its origin at the musculus flexor digitorum longus, it's called.
Wow.
It's on the backside of the tibia.
This part here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a huge, very strong muscle.
Right.
And from this muscle, the tendon goes over, here it's called the ankle. It's the hock joint, but birds don't have really an ankle. Then the flexor tendon goes down on the backside.
Right.
Because on the front side, you have the stretch tendon.
Of course.
For stretching the talons and the toes. And then it goes down till the end of the fingers. Toes, not the fingers, excuse me. And usually people think that the ankle, so-called ankle, is the knee of the bird.
Yeah, I've heard this recently.
Because when the bird is standing in front of you, you think, oh, that's the knee. But the knee is
way up
higher
in the bird, like
in
is
the
it
bird, and you don't see the knee
because it's hidden by the plumage or something?
By the plumage. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so fascinating. And then I've got a secondary graph here
So
as
it's
well.
more in the detail. Now what we see here is the toe.
Okay,
Or
so this
maybe,
is the talon part itself
the
here.
talon part.
Okay.
In front there's the talon, and then we see the bones of the toe.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the red line is the tendon, the flexor tendon.
Okay.
And the blue line is the tendon sheath.
Okay, they've got like a cover, basically.
Yeah, like a cover.
Uh-huh.
In mammals, also in human beings, there you have a little liquid.
Like a lubricant in an engine.
Like a lubricant, yes, of course. And in birds of prey, you see the blue, the tendon sheath, have little knobs.
They've got teeth like a gear.
It's like a ratchet system.
Yeah.
So you have part and counterpart, and then the tendon sheath and the tendon goes cluck, 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 cluck.
Wow.
And the thing is, the bird don't need any muscle
effort
to hold the talons closed.
Oh, because it's just locked.
They are locked. It's like a locking mechanism.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how they sleep on a bench or on a tree. So they are totally relaxed, and the tendons are locked, and the talons are closed. Yeah, and the toes are closed. And
that doesn't give them any muscle strain or anything? Like to be locked for such a long time in like a strain? Wow.
No.
So it's an active thought to then change that from the locked position
locked position to stretch and to loosen the position. It's consciously have to stretch the leg to loosen it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the difference, because how can eagles or birds of prey close their talons so fast or by such a strength? That's because in the skin between the toes, they have sensorious receptors, which are called Herbst receptors, and they react on pressure. So when the eagle
so it senses it, and then it
immediately close the talons
without the conscious thought to do that.
Yes,
that's really, really interesting. So I've heard this myth, or at least a legend, that young bald eagles and other fish hunting birds of prey sometimes drown because they don't let go, or they can't let go of their prey. Is that true?
There's nothing that doesn't exist in nature.
Sure.
So I don't know it from bald eagles, but they found ospreys skeletons on carcasses of fishes, because the talons was closed on the fish, and they found the skeleton and the fish and with the closed talons. So of course sometimes such things happen when you hunt, and so it's like an accident.
Yeah.
Nothing is 100% safe.
Of course, right?
So it's not a fake, it's fact. Yeah.
I guess everything in nature comes with its risks. We could be watching a very different version of that clip where things could have gone wrong for either party there.
Very, very, very wrong.
Yeah, because that clip looks painful to me. You know, it's like I would be like, oh, my back, or I don't know.
So broken wing or a broken bone. It's unbelievable that both seem to be okay.
Do the hunting behaviors of the golden eagle change as they get older?
I would say it changes in that way that they get more perfect in their method of hunting.
They can like calibrate their settings
a little bit. First, when they fly with their parents, they learn a little bit, and then when they are 3 years old, what's really young for an eagle, they are perfect. Yeah.
What's the typical lifespan of an eagle?
Lifespan in wildlife? Maybe 20, 25 years, maybe.
Wow, that's really interesting. 20 years feels
because
like a long time.
It's a great misunderstanding that people always think the golden eagle is the king of the air and boundless freedom, but the life of a golden eagle is very hard.
Yeah.
So it's very gruesome, and every hunting flights you have fights with other golden eagles for the hunting area.
Right.
You must search a mate. You have the incubation. So they also have their package to carry.
Yeah.
And it's a hard life. Imagine they live in the higher mountains in the Alps in wintertime, when the weather conditions goes to maybe minus 30 degrees Celsius,
Oof.
and they are always there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a hard life. It's not when you see such a bird of prey on the blue sky and it's surfing in the wind, you think, oh, boundless freedom. So that's a great misunderstanding.
That's a little bit of us putting our own hopes and
that's
desires.
anthropomorphizing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that,
Yeah.
what they represent and what the reality is for
Yeah.
them. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
answers.
Thank you.
It was really delightful, and thanks for the insight into the production and the
Sorry
life.
for my poor English, but
No.
I'll try my best.
You did great. You did really, really great.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing such fantastic information about these incredible birds. All right. Thank you for watching Not a Biologist. Please like and subscribe, and check out our Patreon for extended bits and behind the scenes goodness. Until next time.